Hey everybody, I hope all is well. We're going to be tapping in, okay? We're going to use the Kipper deck, we're going to use the Romance Angels deck, and we're going to use a deck that tells you about like the personas, okay? So this is like astrological chart for insights, personality, characteristics of a person. And so my intention with this reading is to do a bit of a love reading. Okay, this deck's cool. It's kind of like neat how they have this all done, and it's made by Intuit Tarot. Okay, so we will tap in using this as well as the others. I just do some shuffling here, so hang out with me for a minute. What's going on with you all, right? I feel like there's a lot of like under construction energy, right? Either something's being like refurbished, renewed, restored, rebalanced, repurposed. Did I say that? And then I'm also getting like things just being kind of leveled and like it being used for something else. So like maybe construction is a reference, or developer or developing is some context here for some reason. I don't know why. I'm also getting like architect, design, and I'm getting like repurposing things with new intentions, like not scrapping it all, but there's something to like bring change to evolve, right? There's a bit of like taking something from one form and creating it a new form. So there could be a bit of that. Who came out here? Inherently wounded regarding intimacy and trust. So this is about desire as well. Your ability to meet another in trust, intimacy, and vulnerability is in direct proportion to the depth you can go to meet yourself and alchemize your wounds. Well, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Alchemy. Huh. Bottom of the deck energy over here is Sun in the third house, Gemini, I think. So heavy on the communication. I feel like there is a lot of like testing things out, proving a theory, proving something, like a lot of intellectual interest, desires, a lot of like mental agility is important, curiosity is important, maybe getting a jump start on something. Maybe you're somebody, or this energy I'm picking up on in this reading here has to be in the know. So this is about like someone who has a lot of competency, good communication and understanding. I feel like these are traits that are highly important to you. I feel like take care not to come across as a know-it-all, okay, to others. You know, maybe you are a know-it-all. All right, so we'll get more with those, and we're going to start with these. You want to start these? Okay, we're doing the Romance Angels first. They're like that. All right, ready? Let's call in our angels, saints, ancestors, and spirit guides into our energy for divine guidance with the messages for our highest and greatest good. So it is, and so it will be. All right, y'all. Chemistry came out again. Express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Ooh. There's a strong magnetic attraction here, like energetics. Okay? Alchemy. Like they're able to tap into their own energy and create from it. That's beautiful. Lots of passion here. A lot of red, a lot of blue. So there's like consciousness here. Wow. Beautiful. very grounded, stable, and secure. As you can kind of see, like they're sitting on like a stone bench, something that's very fixed, something that's grounded, something that is very material. And then they're surrounded by greenery. They're, you know, one is kind of like shielding and protecting the other, like one's kind of cloaked. There's this like regalness even. So I feel like whatever they do have access to create from, like the source, it's almost like the source within is so without, if that makes any sense here with the chemistry. All right, so I feel like this is like something you have in common here is very powerful, okay? Okay. You might meet them somewhere that you might like come across them, like bump into them, or maybe it's a party or some event of some kind. You may like, do you want to dance? Like, I don't know. I feel like dancing's really relevant, or you like to dance. Maybe they like to dance. I don't know. I'm getting like dancing, right? Almost like no one's watching. So I don't know if like you do that on your own. Maybe they do too. Dancing is like very important. I feel like in the process now, you know, it's time that you clear your energy and release your ex. I feel like this is something that collectively is happening, right? The karmic releasing. So you or them could be in the process of working through that now, like clearing the energy. Kind of depends on like where you are in the timeline and kind of like where you are in your healing journey as well. So, okay. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and they're worth exploring. So I feel like what the energy that you share with this partnership here that's coming in, I feel like it's going to be something that, you know, is like Cupid's arrow kind of stuff. Like it's going to be like knock your socks off if you wear socks. Your feelings are real and worth exploring, right? You are lovable, okay? Remembering that you are lovable and you deserve love. I feel like this person is going to feel strongly about you and you them. If this isn't already happening, this very much could already be happening. So congratulations for those who are experiencing this right now. I very much could be picking up the energy that you guys are like putting yourselves out there, and you know, you are connecting with energy here. So this could be, you know, embarking on this new chapter in your life. It's beautiful. Wow, I feel like communication's really important here. I'm getting I got this children card in reverse, so I'm going to take it like that. Only because this card says your love life is being affected by children. And I would say that that kind of has like a negative connotation to it. And I would say they're not making that point here. They're saying like there's children as a factor, but not in a, like they're affecting things, like, you know. Then I have religious factors and free yourself. I feel like your love life is influenced by your upbringing, whether it was religious or spiritual. I feel like there's a spiritual connection here. And it's something that, you know, maybe over time you've realized is really important to you. This is something that like maybe previously, like with this ex, maybe there wasn't a compatibility when it comes to belief systems. And the reason why I also say that is I feel like there was a bit of like, you know, being hidden, being covered, having to dim, having to mask, having to like defend even why you may believe things the way you believe them. It's kind of like this unicorn is like outcasted, okay? Because there's something that they have some sort of uniqueness about them. And I feel like this unicorn is, you know, kind of been the unicorn becomes the black sheep, if that makes any sense. I feel like maybe others have had control over you and your experiences. I feel like this is you taking back control of your life, okay? Knowing that, like, you're a unicorn, like, get the fuck out of the way, like, get out of the way. Additionally, you know, also sitting over here at the bottom of the deck is some sort of crisis of personal belief systems. And so you might have been someone who continually is driven to question and ask things that, like, nobody else is asking. Maybe you see fractures in systems. You could possibly break free of previous belief systems too. So again, like, this unicorn, you know, the outcast, the black sheep, you know, is usually the one who's different. And I'm feeling like it's time to celebrate your difference, right? May also dogmatically hold on belief systems to the point of traumatizing others. So I feel like this could go either way depending on where you stand in things, right? Although highly idealistic and open-minded, your compulsive search for answers can also make you erratic and controlling. Take care not to push your off times, unusual, or revolutionary ideas onto others. So it's like allowing people to come up to their own realizations of things, right? And not like forcing a belief on others. I feel like this is also important to note. This might be something that was learned. I feel like that might be why there's this like outcasting, like, you know, separation, even not being included, like made fun of, even teased, bullied, okay, for being different, for potentially your belief systems, your you know, your upbringing. Like, you were different on purpose, and instead I feel like you've gone through a lot to defend yourself. It could be a lonely ride. It may have been a lonely journey. But I feel like it's worth it in the end with true love. Like, come on. All right. I feel like you know what love isn't. I feel like the romance of a lifetime is about to be yours, which is beautiful. And we're going to celebrate. Celebrate. Celebrate good times. Come on. It's time to celebrate. I am not a good singer, but I don't care. Oh, what else you got for us? This is magical. I love the unicorn. The unicorn has like a bow, you know. He's dressed up for the occasion. So there might be something that you're going to be getting dressed up for. And it could involve like something that's social that maybe, you know, it's not usually your thing. Maybe you take, you know, a step out of your comfort zone, and you kind of, I feel like you're very much could be meeting somebody out and about. All right. And then I have reconciliation energy as well. Someone from your past is returning to your life. All right. So I feel like there's a familiarity here. I feel like you could be connecting with them like in a dream space or in your imagination or in your astral experiences. I feel like there will be a time that you will disconnect and just be with one another in some shape, in some way, shape, or form. Like, that could be, you know, starting over somewhere new is what I'm getting. The retreat. You could be starting over somewhere new with somebody new. I feel like this energy is a soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you guys together. All right, so yodelay. If you know, you know. What else do we have? What else is happening? What be happening? It is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Oh my gosh, yes. This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner that you seek, okay? Flirt. Extend your light-hearted energy to others. Oh, this is going to be beautiful. playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit to fun to shine. So it's like just like being open, having fun, remembering what it's like to just be like in love, right? And just allowing, right? Like remembering that, you know, love isn't just painful, it's also joyful, blissful, right? I feel like there's a bit of that playing out here. It's awesome. Okay, let's get some more info, shall we? All right, what do you want to work with next? Let's see, are we done with this deck? Yes. Okay, want to do this? No. This? Okay. So now that we know what's happening in the love department, right? We have calling in a soulmate. We have that, like, there very much could be children involved. There's some sort of like compatibility, like when it comes to like belief systems. That's like the core foundation here of this dynamic. I feel like there's a process playing out here. Maybe you're alchemizing a past relationship, releasing, you know, and clearing energy here. There is something new and exciting. Okay, it's gonna be beautiful. I feel like, again, like I was kind of getting asked out on a date, going to a party, meeting somebody out, like something like that. And then I have like, you know, being like the outcast. I feel like you're freeing yourself from, you know, any kind of like self-limiting beliefs that may even not be yours. They're projected onto you. I feel like you've taken your power back. All right. And so true love is yours to have and to hold. I feel like the romance of a lifetime. All right, soulmate, this could be the one. It's safe for you to love, flirt, have fun, right? I feel like this is going to be a blast, okay? So now we're going to do a little kipper. Let's see what we get. What is happening? Okay, we have great fortune, expectation. Interesting. I feel like the energy you put out, you receive back. I feel like this is divine favor. And, you know, this is something that like is your core, right? So it's almost like you finally see your own worth now, right? And now you're open to receive it in return. Like I feel like there was something that was like opened, all right? And as a result of it being opened, there's like a constant flow, all right? And this is great fortune here. We have a expectation here, so let's get more on this expectation. Somebody's waiting. Someone's like sitting back and just kind of playing it like to the chest, like keeping things to the chest, like being observant. Okay, maybe there's something that is coming to an end and there's this like needing to have patience regarding what this is. So someone could have been waiting on this for a while. I feel like your patience is going to pay off. Let's see. What do we got here? An official person. Number 22, sorry. 1111. You might see that number a lot. You might see 222 a lot. You might see 22 a lot. So what's this official person? They have a sword, so that kind of tells me like there's an authority here of some kind, official. Something about a house. Okay, or some sort of property or something that has happened at a house. Okay, and then we have a main female. So this could be someone who you may hear about. I have something to do with a child, and I have something to do with concern. Okay. Tell me more, tell me more. High honor. Imprisonment. Okay. I was like, what's this all about? I feel like you may hear news about someone you may have lived with at one point in time who may no longer be with you still, but has been, like was, I feel like has found themselves in some sort of predicament. I feel like there was this like falling from grace energy, okay, with the high honor in the mid position, like there's a blockage here. And I feel like there's a child or something that was created from this, that someone might have like held as a secret or kept in the dark or is being held accountable for. I feel like it was for the sake of like unexpected income. All right, so I feel like somebody may have gotten in trouble with the law or they're being held accountable. There's some sort of bad health here as well. I feel like this person still thinks about you and wishes that they maybe made different choices with this change. I feel like there could be, someone observing the changes you've made in your life, okay? They may want to send you a message here. I feel like you're being seen as somebody who handles themselves really well, very maturely. People look up to you. You hold yourself with high regard. Okay, I feel like you might be somebody who people come to, right? This living room, you have like a safe space. I feel like there's a mature man and a mature woman. This could be maybe people it could be your family. This could be maybe a couple here. They may have something related to work or an occupation, a career, or they do something, or it's something you do. All right, we do have some community here, so there could be like support for the community, like maybe you help the community with something, some sort of skill set. I feel like there is this, abundance here. There is this luck, there is this favor, and then I'm getting the Lovers. So this talks about like coming together with another, and having choices in who really we find our connection with. And I feel like there will be a courtship, okay? And we were getting that, like someone is going to extend and make a romantic gesture. I feel like this is part of what this is. I feel like this person's stable and secure, and this will involve a marriage or high level commitment. I feel like, people might be concerned hearing that you might be going on some sort of journey, or people have been concerned or have gotten notice of something. Maybe, that you've moved on with your life. Maybe you're picking up and changing, things about you that people might be like, wow, I never thought she'd do that. Or, woo, like, I don't even know who that person is anymore. I feel like there's been so much that, is going on. And then with the distant horizon, I feel like this could be a timing thing. This can also be like, removing the anchor. So, freeing yourself from what might have held you back before. And I feel like people are like, wow, like, there's some sort of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Surprise. I feel like there's a bit of surprise here. Okay, and I feel like maybe people are figuring out why you might have left somebody, right? In a situation, maybe the truth is being revealed. There might have been someone who has, dark attachments and may have been, conniving and con artisting and gaslighting, breadcrumbing, abusing, even taking from, with this thief. I feel like this thief is the one who's here in this imprisonment energy. These thieves, I feel like that could be why there's a message of concern, because maybe there's some sort of like massive change here, right? And then there's transportation, so it's like, going away towards something that, maybe would have held somebody back before, but no longer does. I feel like now people realize like why things are playing out the way that they are now. Maybe they're now seeing the full picture. There's somebody who thought that they were like really hot shit that is no longer hot shit. I have the privileged lady in reverse, and now there's poverty here. I feel like it's because this couple, this person, these persons, whoever they may be, they're false people. I feel like you chose to stay in your light. I feel like they're dealing with court in some way, shape, or form. You know, there is judgment playing out here. There's despair playing out here. We have this imprisonment still. Whatever they did for greed and money, I feel like it's made them sick, ill. All right. Yeah, look at sick and ill. Massive changes and endings happening here. I feel like you realizing that whatever happened was a blessing and a gift, and it freed you from being like the energy source here for this dynamic. I feel like, you know, you were the one that was doing all the work, and I feel like all the hard work you're putting in is going to be paying off. Like, you're going to be blessed. All right, so this is awesome. We love this. So let's get into more about like the persona here. Who can we help the collective with some more info regarding like characteristics and things like that? What can we, like signs and all that? All right, Jupiter in the 5th house, Leo. So you're likely to be famous for your creative projects. In love, you are warm, witty, and enjoyable. Luck from investments comes from your willingness to take risks. Okay? That's great. Red hair could be significant. You could like really follow like astrology. You could be known to be popular, or you come off with like popular like confidence. You could be magnetic, creative, expressive, overconfident, like I was saying, athletic, fun-loving. Okay? People sometimes may think you're conceited, and that's just because they don't know you. All right, Bohemian, Mars in the 11th house, Aquarius, I know. So you love participating in all types of social groups and activities, but you abhor herd mentality, which makes you fascinating and draws people into your sphere. You pave your own path, and you do it unapologetically. All right, so either people are for you or they're not. I feel like, you know, it is what it is for you. All right, and there's this like magnetic energy, Mars, right? Very idealistic, freedom loving, sociable, colorful, influential, argumentative if tested, goal setter, impersonal, and sometimes hard to read. Okay. You might like the boho vibe. You might be like some sort of artist or musician. All right. Struggles with material possessions. Neptune in the 2nd house, Taurus, I have. So plagued by money problems, when spiritually aligned with your higher self, you can master the ability to intuitively create abundance and wealth. So I feel like there might have been something that happened here that someone maybe did that was immoral or lacked integrity. You might hear about this from an official person. It might have something to do with your own business. Or something when it relates to like your family or the home or some sort of like insurance or what's it called? Probate, or, you know, some sort of inheritance. It has something to do with like someone that you used to live with. I feel like you're innately intuitive, generous, maybe even naive, sometimes unrealistic, struggles with boundaries, low self-worth, can't hold on to money, poor money decisions. So there might have been like a lack of self-worth here that maybe presented itself in the physical here. Idealistic, Sun in the 9th house, Sagittarius, I see. So your expansive desire for knowledge and the urge to experience different cultures enables you to overcome prejudice and self-imposed restrictions. So I would say that you're somebody who doesn't settle for, again, that herd mentality. This idealistic energy is like always seeking new horizons, looking ahead. You love learning, you're curious, adventurous, you like to explore new cultures and languages. You could be like a natural teacher. Maybe you are kind of getting back into like the academic portion of your life. Like maybe you're finding yourself, reading more, studying more. You may be on a spiritual quest. But I feel like philosopher energy too. So, some of you might be, studying in some way, shape, or form. What other characteristics do we have in our channel here? We have Pluto, 11th house, Aquarius, I know. Tumultuous social interactions. So there's their main female here that this is talking about specifically, and I'm being called to speak to it. So I feel like there's a main female here. I feel like she's part of the false person energy. I feel like this person holds on to grudges. Strongly tempted to repress your individuality to fit in. Your inner desire for self-expression will eventually prompt you to embrace being your true, authentic self. Yeah, remember how I was picking up on, like, there's this false person energy, and I feel like this is that energy, and I feel like they do things for the sake of, like, wanting to feel better, right? There's this, like, this is how they truly feel, right? And I feel like there's this, like, yeah, this is this energy right here. Look at all the red. Do you see this? Yeah, I feel like this energy here, I feel like they're, I feel like they put on a front. Like it says hates superficiality, but I feel like they're a walking contradiction themselves, right? I feel like they're not quite, I don't feel like they really care how they leave people, whether it's better, whether they leave them better than how they found them. I don't know that they care about that kind of thing. I feel like they need to be their true authentic self. And I feel like they're devoted to friends, and they do have a small circle of trust. I feel like their definition of superficial is probably like based on their own projection energy, like their insecurity. I feel like they have a lot of harsh relationship experiences, which kind of influences this and kind of keeps them in this inauthentic energy. Okay. So there's concern about this for sure. Yeah. I feel like we'll get more on what else is here energetically. Thank you, Spirit. All right, prosperous. Jupiter in the second house, Taurus, I have. Convincing, optimistic, original, rich, thriftless, romantic, naive, generous, poetic, business-minded, warm-hearted, treats enemies ruthlessly. Your driving need is to have luxurious comfort and to make people happy. You spare no expense on creature comforts. So it's fortunate you have the Midas touch. So this is somebody. I don't know who this is. Wow. All right. I wonder if somebody may have gotten pregnant by somebody else outside of this dynamic here. I'm not sure. Maybe this energy and this energy. I'm not sure. You all know your situations. Sun in the second house, Taurus, I have. Ownership. Your value is not found in the quality or quantity of your possessions. Instead, it is your staying power toward things and people in your life. This is about staying power in acquisitions, keeping promises, having solid foundations, values as it relates to material possessions, wealthy, financial acumen, and asset-based values. So this would be someone who, has it together, I would say. I feel like people might be concerned about, who, what, when, where, about, like whatever was created here with this child card. Like, who's going to take care of this child while, like, this is all going on? right? There was like the courthouse, the judgment, the despair, the imprisonment, all for money. Someone, you know, was swindled. Okay, they're in bad health. There's something that's coming to an end. It could have something to do with work. It could have something to do with someone's health. I have no idea. But I'm getting like someone thought that this was all going to be like some sort of blessing, and I feel like that was not the case. So there's something about this child here that people are concerned about, or something that was created. Natural leader and possessive. I have energy here. Jupiter in the 10th house, Capricorn. I use. You are successful and dependable in your career. In positions of leadership you hold, you are admired, respected, and appreciated by those who know you. So careful of your reputation. Honest and productive, talented. You have fine things. You work hard. You're resourceful. And you're honest. All right. So this is talking about those in our collective that maybe someone tried to shame you so that you would be seen that you're not of high honor, but you are. I feel like your character speaks for itself is what I'm getting, regardless of whether they wanted to be with you or not. They wanted to only, you know, like, if I can't have you, no one can energy with this possession. I feel like your energy, right, speaks for itself. You're a leader, not a follower. And maybe this energy needed a follower and you weren't it. Mars in the 8th house, Scorpio, I desire. Yeah, this is energy that is focused on desire, and that's the priority. Self-serving desire. Your passion and strong feelings cause you to become strongly attached and possessive of your partner. Take care, as your intensity can be very overpowering. So again, making sure that like we've got balanced energy here. And, you know, I'm going to read some of these keywords. They may be triggering, but I feel like we need to hear it. There's this like lustful, calculating, kinky, intense lovemaking, self-transformation, money issues, materialistic, and distrustful, secretive and snap decisions, and holds grudges. All right, so this would be like operating from the ego, from the pride. Okay, what other energy do you want to share or messages? All right, we have emotional need to belong. Moon in the 11th house, Aquarius, I know. Full of dreams and aspirations. You hate being lonely, so connecting with people or groups is vital to your happiness, but you are very impressionable, so choose associations wisely. Wow, full of dreams and aspirations. You could be idealistic, community involvement, highly social, close family, fickle relationships, and lofty aspirations. Okay. Companionable, Libra rising. So your ideal romance is pleasurable and harmonious, but it falls short. You become critical and demanding. Find a partner who makes an effort to engage equally. Ding, 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 ding. Me and my bell. Ring my bell. Ring my bell. All right, so someone is very well-mannered, gracious, elegant, likes nice things, diplomatic, could second-guess decisions, but very considerate and enthusiastic. Okay, likes balance, likes harmony. Okay, Saturn in the 7th house, Libra, I balance, partnership extremes. So unequal partnerships may be a painful life theme, but these will teach you how vital it is to establish boundaries regarding what you need from your partner. Wow, also super important. So there might have been, you know, lessons that you learned regarding like you were self-sacrificing. You may keep a small social circle. I feel like you're honest, caring. You may have married later in life. You're very fair, charitable, and ambitious, and you tend to give power away to a partner. So I feel like you learn to gain your power back. Sun in the 10th house Capricorn. And the reason why is because maybe you would align with those who would abuse it and be possessive and controlling and like take your power with being high honor in the side position. You're meant to be a leader. Okay, so leadership here. Sun in the 10th house Capricorn, I use. You accomplish great things because of your drive to achieve status and success. You can be hard to please, as few people can match your high ideals. Professionally oriented, authoritative, won't take orders, political acumen, motivated worker, ambitious, status, constant improvement, and gets it done. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Well, guys, that's some of the energy I was picking up on in this reading. Is there anything else with this deck? No. All right. I'm just going to read the first two that we got as a refresher. Sun in the 3rd house Gemini, I think. Communication. Competency, communication, and understanding are highly important to you, but take care not to come across as a know-it-all to others. Okay, and then we have intellectual, desires change of scenery, hyperactive, and has to be in the know. Neptune in the 8th house Scorpio, I desire. Inherently wounded regarding intimacy and trust. Your ability to meet another in trust, intimacy, and vulnerability is in direct proportion to the depth you can go to meet yourself and alchemize your wounds. Okay? Learning how to alchemize your wounds into a takeaway, a glimmer, a growth opportunity, a catalyst for change. The ability to take what you learn and pay it forward. Okay? To rise above the chaos that we are surrounded by. To not recreate what we already know brings no favor. It's like we already know what happened, so why do we continue to recreate the same thing over and over again? Patterns. Patterns are significant. Yeah. So some of you could be beautifying your homes at this time. You could be, investing in yourself and your space. I feel like that's heavily supported at this time, specifically as I'm looking at this house card. So whatever you're doing to maintain your peace and structure and security and groundedness, super important. All right. So I feel like if you are in the process of doing that or you're thinking about it, then I would say it's a yes. All right, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I had a blast. It was fun. I don't usually play with these decks, so it's always great to explore, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care now.